You know, guys, once a year, and I mean truly for one day out of the entire 365 days of the year, there is only one day that I look forward to, and it's not Christmas, it's not New Year's, and it's not even my own birthday. Scatmaster what? Scatmaster Fooly. The name's Fooly, guys. Of course, this is my favorite holiday, April goddamn Fools. And while I could do something like I did last year where I pretended that MW 2019 was my favorite COD of all time, and I could easily make the direct sequel by saying MW 2019 Part 2 is my favorite COD, I'm deciding to not talk about anything that is gonna be considered a joke. And I know that's strange coming from the Scatmaster, but especially in the Call of Duty realm, I mean, we have plain boring jokes like this. Maybe for April Fools we can get red dots back on the minimap. Thoughts, Infinity Ward? I mean, to be completely honest, I wouldn't be all that surprised if they did that, but that's not what today's video is about. In fact, today's video is not gonna have anything to do with any sort of April Fool's joke, any sort of April Fool's prank. I have an actual proposition for people, okay? For every single person watching today's video, for every single person who tunes into Fooly's channel, I actually want us to try something, and I'm advocating for something that I've seen online, and I do kind of want to see what potential damage the community can cause to Activision and Infinity Ward and the Call of Duty franchise, and perhaps, depending on how this goes, maybe there's a world where we can actually start seeing some change based on some actual actions from us, and those actions are to simply do nothing. I saw this tweet earlier today, and it comes from a guy named Man. I'm so sorry if I butchered this name. I don't know if this guy will ever watch this video, but I saw this guy's tweet, and it was doing some pretty good numbers, so I decided I wanted to talk about it today on my own holiday. This guy says, April 3rd, we strike as a community and take a step away from MW2 and Warzone 2. A data show this game isn't what the community asked for and showed that they have lost the player base. If you want to fix the game, then drop their numbers to the floor. Let's get the sequel we deserve. Now, one thing very quickly, this last part about let's get the sequel we deserve, I actually completely disagree with. In my opinion, MW 2019 shouldn't have ever had a sequel. It should have been its own standalone Call of Duty, and to be completely honest, I don't even view that game as a Call of Duty. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, but everything else this guy talks about is absolute facts. Guys, the Scatmaster is tired of being the one, or at least in the short list of people that actually brings up true issues. Personally, I don't give a fuck if it sounds repetitive. I don't give a fuck if people think I'm whining, crying, bitching, hating for views. If I'm bringing awareness to certain issues and to certain bugs and certain problems, I feel like I'm doing my job. And sometimes I feel like the other content creators in the scene simply aren't doing their part. But when I see a tweet like this, and then this guy goes out and says other content creators should retweet this and bring awareness to this right here specifically, this is what the Scatmaster loves to see. And I know it sounds a little bit too over the edge for somebody like me to be advocating for something like a boycott, at least for a single day, but if we're gonna be completely honest, I mean, April 3rd is what? In like 2 days. By that point, there's like a little over a week left of Season 2. Are we missing out on anything? Is anything going on? No, if you're somebody who's playing the game, you are literally missing out on nothing by not playing it for a single day. Whether you're on Warzone 2 or in MW 2019 Part 2, even if you're somebody who's playing ranked play, I know the season's about to end, and even a player like myself, I'm in Crimson on the way to Iridescent. Man, fuck the rank, I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm not gonna touch the game on April 3rd. And if you want to be completely honest, I don't think anybody should touch the game from this point on until the start of Season 3 and see if they even give us something worth playing. I highly encourage everybody to try to partake in this. And if you're just somebody who cannot go through the day without touching the game, then especially if you're somebody who constantly buys bundles, if you're somebody who grinds the battle pass and buys the battle pass and buys tokens and shit like that, I highly encourage you to not do anything monetary based on the 3rd of April. The fact that certain people have a specific date in mind, I think we could actually see something go on with the player count if people actually take this serious. And here the Scatmaster is telling you, take the shit serious. Especially if we have some Steam players around here. I mean, we've seen the numbers drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. People want to deny the fact that the game is dying. So maybe something like this, something organized like this, might actually put a dent on the player count for everybody to see. And if the general public is seeing it, Activision is definitely seeing it. Infinity Ward is definitely seeing it. And I'm not saying that's guaranteed change. I'm not saying we're gonna get anything positive out of it, but at least we're fucking trying on something. I mean, we still have content creators out here begging people to use their fucking creator codes to buy ghost skins that we had in MW 2019. They ported it over into this game and they're charging people $20 fucking for it. The fuck? I mean, I forget which one of the FaZe guys, I think it was Santana, who was saying that that's just absolute bullshit. Why are you doing this when your player base is dropping? The popularity of this game and even Warzone 2 on Twitch, on YouTube, anywhere else, it's diminishing. People aren't interested in this shit anymore. Give us something to be interested in. Give us something worth playing. Cause what we have so far, over 5 to 6 months in, it's not it. I'm sorry. And if you want to say, oh, well, you're still playing the game, Fooly. How you hate the game, but you still play it every day? Guys, I get this comment all the time. I don't play every single goddamn day. I spent the last like 2 to 3 weeks working on midterms and doing classwork and shit like that. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've touched this game maybe 2 or 3 times. This is all old gameplay you're watching. And I know there's other criticism, like people are gonna say, oh, skill issue, oh, just get better at the game, you just suck at the game, that's why you hating on it. Bro, the amount of gooch you lick from Joe Seacott should be the exact same amount of shit you eat out of my fucking ass crack, you fat chubby bitch. Pipe down, fucking Tubby, and listen. I think this is the perfect opportunity for the community to actually do something worth doing. I mean, people want to talk about vocal minorities, people want to talk about, oh, you're just hating for views, you hate the game but you still play it. All the same stupid criticism from these gooch lickers that support this shit. Now is the chance to shut everybody up, and the best way you can do it is by simply not even touching the goddamn game. It shouldn't even be that hard. This game is very easy to not play. The game has no replay factor, and that's the problem with seasonal content, and I hope something like this actually punctures a hole in the idea behind seasonal content, behind SBMM that we've had since MW 2019. I hope it punctures a fat ass hole in Infinity Ward's ideologies and philosophies on gameplay design. I'm not saying I'm better than a dev in designing, but some of this shit is common goddamn sense. Why are people making April Fool's jokes about red dots on a minimap? Could you imagine back in 2012 somebody tells you, hey, in 10 years, the red dots on the minimap simply won't exist. You know the dead silence perk? Yep, it's not gonna work anymore. It's not gonna be a thing. It's not gonna exist anymore. And you know what's gonna happen when you try to tell the developers, hey, maybe add it in, it might make your game better. They're gonna tell you that based on internal data, that red dots and dead silence as a perk make the game worse. Do you know what kind of stupid fucking simulation you'd have to live in to believe that back in 2012, to predict in 10 years that all of this shit would be flipped on its head? And the worst part is, that's actually reality for Call of Duty nowadays. Why are there people arguing about red dots on a minimap and dead silence as a perk and footstep audio and all of these debates on realism and having a milsim versus an arcade shooter? Guys, the state of the community, the state of Call of Duty, the state of Activision and the devs, it is all shit. Of course the Scadmaster supports the community doing something together, if not in a large population, at least at a smaller magnitude of people, just doing something at the same time and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? You're not gonna touch the game for 24 hours? What are you gonna be drooling at the mouth waiting to play MW 2019 Part 2 DMZ and raids? Give me a fucking break, the game's not that worth it, guys. And you already know Activision and Infinity Ward are pushing for the player base to increase by the end of Season 2. I mean, they're talking about XP weekends, they're talking about, oh, buy this bundle, what's your favorite bundle of these 4? All this stupid shit that they're trying to advertise for people to play the game and buy shit. Guys, the easiest way to negate stupid shit like that is to simply not buy, not play, and not even interact with their goddamn tweets and advertisements. I mean, they're getting body slammed and ratioed by content creators who have creator codes. Maybe there should be a change in communication from the devs to the community. Maybe it's time to start seeing Activision and the devs, specifically Infinity Ward, stop being anti-community. If it's a live service game and the developers are anti-community, the game's gonna fucking rot. Hopefully the magnitude is great enough for it to actually hurt their pockets, because we know that's all they give a fuck about. If you choose to keep playing the game on that day, I simply suggest that you not buy any bundles, no matter if you're a Warzone player or a multiplayer fan. But on April 3rd, let's actually try something, guys. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. In your opinion, depending on how successful this is, do you think there's a possibility for some actual change to occur? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
It's been a very long time since the weekend. It's been a very long time and I'm weak. It's been a very long time since you seen me. Don't know why.